Do you know the feeling where you're trying to reach the investors to set those investor meetings, but you're getting zero responses to your emails? It's super frustrating. I've been there. But oftentimes, the real reason why nobody's responding to you is not because your startup is bad or they're not interested. It's because the story you're telling them is just not compelling enough for them to even read through the entire email. That email is the first impression. This is the first thing the investor will hear from you. And if that's not compelling enough for him to even read throughout the entire email, why bother with a meeting? The most important portion of this email is the company blurb. And that blurb, those 2-3 liners, they have to be simply perfect. Time is money. And if I'm an investor, you need to be able to get my attention with that email. You need to get me excited. Let's talk about how we build a blurb that catches the investor attention. Before we get started, quick side note. I just released my investment round checklist, which gives you all the critical ingredients that you need to think about when you build your round. You can grab it free from the video description below. This is a blurb that has exactly 3 sentences. Each one of them is very carefully crafted. Company name is the leading North Star goal, whatever it is you're leading, which is X amount of market size opportunity. This sentence is all about what kind of business problem are we tackling by saying we are the leading something. And we could have easily switched that into talking about the pain point and saying we're solving this pain point. But obviously, if you can say you're an industry leader in certain field, that's awesome. And then saying which is a market size opportunity of X amount of $1 billion. That has to be multi-billion-dollar opportunity. So we are hitting 2 very critical things here. One, the business problem, which is extremely critical, and the way we solve that, or at least lead that. And we're hitting the market size, which is super important for any investment decision. So, carefully crafted sentence that covers 2 of the foundations of an investment. Then we go for the traction and the social proof. Company name is trusted by or serving leading customers such as, and we give here 3 to 4 customer names in which we've demonstrated some kind of outcome KPI. This is the best way to craft traction. It's saying that we are either trusted by or serving. Serving is more generic because sometimes those customers are not necessarily paying. So saying serving leading customers is a lot simpler than trying to explain later on that those customers are not paying. We're serving the customers. That can be proof of concepts, that can be pilots, that can be a lot of things, rather than saying trusted by, which is probably tailored towards paying customers rather than just customers you're working with. And then saying the amount of customers, like 3 to 4 customers, is probably the right number. I wouldn't say 1 or 2 customers, and I wouldn't say 7 customers. The reason is because 1 or 2 customers tells me that, hey, there's a good chance you don't have more than 1 or 2 engagements. And 7 customers tells me that you got exactly 7 customers. And I don't want this information to be out there. I want to give some names, but I don't want to share my customer Rolodex on the second paragraph of this blurb. Let's do a 3 to 4 customer names that are super, super impactful. Hopefully some names that people can relate to, the companies that people know. And then the last part is those customers in which we've demonstrated, and then we give a KPI, an outcome, a tangible outcome that can be measured. For example, we've helped them save costs by 50%, or we've helped them reduce SLA breaches by 90%, or we've done some sort of meaningful business impact for the customer. Again, super important that this is not something generic. We're not helping them do things. We have demonstrated outcome. We're not helping. We're not working with. We're not escorting. We're not consulting. We're not advising. We are creating actual outcomes and those outcomes have attached KPIs. We have deliverables that are business deliverables. And then lastly, company name, founders are leading experts in certain field with over X amount of years of experience in that particular field in notable companies. This is very important because we want to show that we are a winning team, and the most important part of the team is the founders. So the founders have to be leading experts in the field that is related to what the company is actually trying to solve. And we want to show that we have a lot of years of experience in handling those problems that we're tackling now as a company. And we also want to show that we've done that in notable companies. So if you work for Google or Microsoft or whatever, this is the place to put it, especially if you built a company before and it was successful. And then finally, an optional piece is talking about how much the company has raised to date. Again, this is optional. If you raise $50K from your friends and family, I would not put that here. But if you raised $1 million, or if you've done something substantial, definitely I would put that here because it gives you another layer of credibility on top. So again, this is as simple as it gets, but it's the most impactful blurb you'll create. And you can make some adjustments, but you have to keep it in that relative size. I don't want to see paragraphs on paragraphs where you talk about the history of your startup and the space and whatever. All I want to see is those foundations of your story in your blurb. And here's the practice you should do. Open your mobile phone, put the text into the mobile phone, and if it's more than 10 rows, you are doing it wrong. Because guess what? Most of the investors will look at those emails over their phones. And if it's too long, they will just give up at some point and they wouldn't care. So if it takes you too long to get to the point, you're going to lose your audience. So again, super short, super impactful. Like the investment deck, every word is critical. There are no words here for the sake of words. Every sentence, every word within the sentence needs to tell me something that is teasing me to actually go on a call with you. If you want me to review your blurb, be sure to put it in the comments of this video and I will go through them and give you some quick tips. And if you found this video valuable, be sure to subscribe to our channel and also join our community at startup10x.com to learn more about mastering startup fundraising, product market fit, and early stage B2B sales and marketing.